Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we will be learning how to retouch human faces and figures in Photoshop, just like some of the Instagram pictures which we see out there. So for this we will see various steps which are listed on a screen right now. These are some advanced steps used to correct the image, and there will be a lot of advanced tools used in this tutorial. So just follow along and understand them very carefully. So first let's see the before and after of this image. This is the before and this is the after. We have a hell lot of change in this image. So just let's save it once and then delete all these. And let's start from scratch. We have this image of a person. I will be providing this image in the description. So our first step will be removing the blemishes on our skin. For that, I will be creating a black and white adjustment layer. After this, I will reduce the reds to almost 0. This will be a different value in our image, and will increase the yellows a little bit to brighten up the image. You can play with other sliders too and see what they change. There is no change in this image. So we will create a layer just below the black and white layer. If you just click on the layer, it will be created above the black and white layer, but we want it below. So I will delete it. I will hold Ctrl and click on the layer to get a layer just below the black and white layer. We will go to this layer and select the regular healing brush tool, not the spot healing, the regular one. We will see some adjustments here. First, the mode will be lighten for the darker blemishes, and the mode will be darken for the lighter blemishes, just the opposite. Source will be sampled, and the sampled will be current and below, not always current and below, and diffusion will be 5 by default. So just click on the image, zoom in a little bit, sample an area by holding Alt and clicking with the left mouse button. Just click. Make the cursor size just a bit bigger than the blemish and dab a couple of times. Make sure that it looks clean. Don't worry about the color, we will be fixing it in the later steps. Take your time and do it. Don't hurry up in this step or it won't look good. Now some people would be thinking, why am I not using the spot healing brush tool? Because if you use the spot healing brush tool, you have to just dab and it will remove the blemishes, but it will also remove the skin texture, which we don't want. So we will use the regular healing brush tool. We will sample a skin texture area and then paint on it. It will keep the skin texture intact. So let's look at the before and after. This is before and this is after. You can also correct this area if you want. See, we can look at the skin texture here in the preview. Now let's move on to the next step. Let's create a snapshot of both these layers by dialing in the shortcuts Ctrl, Alt, Shift and E, which will create a merge layer of both these layers. Right click on it and click Convert to Smart Object. Then go to Filters and Camera Raw Filter. In this step, we will be smoothing out the skin. For that, I have a very interesting technique for you. Let's zoom into 100% and then decrease the texture. See, on decreasing the texture, let's decrease it to -100. See, we remove all the textures in the image. We will not decrease it so much, just a little bit. Just where you start to lose the textures a little bit, we will be little above that, and we'll increase the clarity a little bit to get back those skin details. No more changes here, just click on OK. Let's create a layer mask for this layer. For that, I will be holding on Alt and clicking on the layer mask. That will create a inverted layer mask, means it will hide all the changes in the image. I will reduce the brush, increase the flow and opacity to 100%, and just paint in some areas where I have to soften the skin. Before, after. So let's reduce the opacity a little bit, not much, just 85 would be fine for this image. So now let's move on to the next step, and that will be retouching eyes. In this step I will be creating a group and name it retouching eyes, because we'll have a couple of layers for it. So we will, don't look at my spelling, I'm sorry, and we'll create all the layers inside this group. Let's open the group and first click on curves. Increase the curves, invert the layer mask, take a brush, zoom into the image, select a white color, remember to paint on the layer mask, and just paint in the direction opposite to the light. Here we have the light in the top area, so we'll paint in just the opposite. Dab a couple of times and then remove it from the eyes. See, this is the before and this is the after. This eye looks a bit off, so I will be reducing the flow and erasing it just a tiny bit. So this is before and this is after. We can change the blend modes. I can try overlay and reduce the opacity a little bit. See, that's a very little difference, but it is good, it looks good. Let's change it to normal. Normal is better. Next we'll adding highlights to the highlights. For that we'll create another curves layer, increase the curves again, invert the layer mask by clicking on Ctrl I, zoom on the image, and now paint on the highlights. Don't worry if it goes out, because we'll be fixing it now. Just double click on this blank area, layer style dialog box opens, and take the black point slider of the underlying layer from left to right. It will be removing from the dark areas of the eye. Then separate it to make a smoother transition by clicking on Alt and pressing in between the lines. See, this is before and this is after. We'll reduce the opacity. Next we will be changing the color of eye a little bit. For that I will create hue and saturation adjustment layer. Click on colorize and select a blue color. For this you can zoom into the eye, increase the saturation and change the blend mode to color. This blend mode will keep the colors of the hue and saturation layer, and it will take the luminosity from the layers below it. Invert the layer mask and carefully paint in white in the areas where you want to show the effect, that is the eyeballs. See, this is the before and this is the after. So we see that this looks too much, so we'll reduce the opacity to a point where it looks good, or 45. Yeah, 45 is good. Now let's move on to the next step of this retouching eyes. For that we'll again create a merged visual layer. We can create it inside the layer by pressing Ctrl Alt Shift and E all together, clicking on convert to smart object, filter, other, high pass. You can zoom into the eye if you want. You can see the eye here. Just reduce it to 0 and slowly increase it where you see all the details. Not this much, just where you see the details and there is no haloing in the edges. See, this is good. And change its blend mode to overlay. Now create an inverted layer mask for the layer. Do not use the smart filter layer mask. If you use it, See what it does. Let's pause for a second and understand why does this happen. When the layer mask is inverted, the high pass filter is removed, or it is assumed to be removed because of this layer mask, and the image, this is not the high pass applied image, this is the image which we just stamped above everything. This is overlay. If you turn off the smart filters and then apply overlay, it will be the same effect. Even if you turn on smart filters, there will be no change. So do not use the smart filters layer mask. So we will change it to white and then create a layer mask for the layer, a inverted layer mask. We will hold on Alt and then click on the layer mask, a inverted layer mask. We'll take the brush and paint in with white. So this is the before, this is the after. You can change the values if you don't like them. I like them very much, so I won't change them. Next we'll be brightening the whites. For that again we'll create a curves layer inside the group. Don't go outside the group or it will be difficult to make them organized. We'll brighten it a little bit and change the blending mode to luminosity, so there is no change in the colors of the white. Let's invert the layer mask. Take a very low flow, about 27%, and then paint in with white. See, this is before and this is after. We'll reduce the opacity. This is before, this is after. Our next step will be correcting the shape of the person. For that, we will create a stamp visible layer of all the layers you can see by pressing on Ctrl, Alt, Shift and E, and we'll again change it to a smart object. Then we'll go to filter and liquify. Now from there we will select the forward warp tool, the first tool here. We will decrease the size, we will keep the pressure low, density also low, keep it on 5, and just click on pin edges. This will keep the edges fixed and will slowly nudge in the face. See? This technique you can just take your time and change the steps. I will be using a faster method. This step was for the users who are on an older version of Photoshop. For me, I will just click on Alt and reset everything. I will go to Face Aware Liquify. Click on this face tool or click on A. It will open the face tool options here, and from here you can just change the sliders or move these to change the shape of your face. So I prefer to use the handles of this image. Just click and drag in. See, it is so much convenient. I am doing some extreme adjustments, but try not to do some adjustments which will change the natural look of your image. I am just showing you the extreme adjustments so that you can understand the power of Photoshop. Next we'll again go back to the forward warp tool, make the brush bigger, keep the settings low, only the size should be big, and then nudge in the figure of the person. Just nudge in very slowly. If you do not want to see the original image, you can just uncheck show backdrop and then click on OK. Let's see the before and after. This is before and this is after. So this step gets over here. Next we will be moving on to dodge and burn. So this is again a long step, and let's understand the steps very carefully. Next we will move on to removing the colors so that it does not disturb us while dodging and burning. There are two steps to do it. First we can click on solid color and take a unsaturated color. That can be white, black, gray, anything. Click on OK and change the blend mode from normal to color. Do not use black and white layer or this method, hue and saturation, and taking it to -100. This is wrong, and the black and white layer is also wrong. We will either use this solid color technique or we will use vibrance adjustment layer, not saturation, vibrance, and we will take the saturation of this vibrance adjustment layer. The saturation of the vibrance adjustment layer and the saturation of the hue and saturation layer is completely different. A video will be uploaded later on this topic. You can see it to understand why this works. But for now, do not use the saturation layer of the hue and saturation. It can be best if you use the solid color. Now let's create a group again for dodge and burn. And then create a curves layer for the dodge. Increase it a lot. Not this much, sorry. This much is good. Change its name to dodge. And next create a curves layer. Decrease the curves a lot. This much is good. And then change its name to burn. Invert both the masks. Take a brush, opacity to 100%, flow 1 or 2, not more than this, 1 or 2. I will keep it at 2 for now. Take white color, zoom into the image. These are the areas which are darker. We'll take white, we'll increase the brush, make it soft, and then just paint. Let's first do the dodging. Click on dodge, click on its layer mask, and then dodge these areas. See, gone. See, gone. Take your time, don't hurry up in this step 2 or it won't look good. This is before, this is after. Let's move on to the burn layer. In this we will be darkening the bright areas like this area. Again painting with white on the layer mask with the same process, and just darken the images very carefully. See, gone. In this area, why I am darkening it more? To give it a lift to the lip. Adding shadows to the lower lip gives it a depth, and adding highlights to the upper lip gives it a depth. This is before and this is after. Before, after. Our very next step, let's delete this layer. So in this step, we will be correcting the colors of the face. So like here we have some orange. So for this step, we will click on hue and saturation. Select this pointer tool and click on the area which has the color different. Click here. It will automatically sample the color, and then increase the hue to 180 and the saturation to 180 to look into the areas which we are targeting. So play with these sliders to only target those areas. The inside sliders change the targeted colors, and the outside sliders increases the transition between the colors. So let's make it narrower. See, these areas are to be targeted. Let's change it from this side. Now bring them back to 0. And then change the color very slowly to get the right color. See, this is a bit orange, so we'll shift it to the left of orange is red. We will get a bit red and decrease the saturation a tiny bit. Now click on the layer mask, invert it, take a brush and paint in with white. Increase the flow a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, and then paint in these areas. See, we are correcting the color. We have to get back to the dodging and burning layer to correct the brightness of these areas. So we'll just go back there. Let's get back to dodge, change the percent to 2% and then paint in with white here. Change their blending mode to luminosity so that they do not affect the colors of the skin. So this is the before and this is the after. Now let's move on to the next step, that is we'll add some contouring to the face. What does it mean? Let's look at it. We'll take curves, we'll decrease the curves, invert the layer mask, take the brush, increase the flow to about 30-35%, make the brush a bit larger and then paint in these areas. 30 is too much, let's change it to 10 and then we'll paint in here. This will add an impression that her face is a bit pointy or it is thinner. That is called contouring. So this is the before, this is the after. Before, after. Next we move on to the step of adding some lipsticks to a lip. For that we will first take the pen tool. For that I will click P. I will select the curvature pen tool, which is easier for me. You can also use the pen tool. I will use the curvature pen tool and then select the lip. Do not use other selection methods, it won't be good. Just select the lip. See why I love this, because it automatically generates a curve. You just have to click on the various points and the curve will be generated automatically. And you can click on the points and then change their position. You don't have to click any other key in this, just click on the point and drag them. It will change the position of those images and it will automatically adjust the curve. See, here we have a curve but we want a point here. For that just double click on the point, it will be changed to a point. Now just adjust the shape to your liking, then go to paths. For this you can go to window and then paths, click on paths and then save it, naming it lips. Just double click on it, the path will be saved here. Next hit Ctrl and enter to make a selection out of that pen tool path. Now turn off this layer, head over to adjustments and gradient map. In this gradient map we'll be first selecting black and white and then we'll click on a point here and change its location to 50. Luckily I had chosen it by chance. Then we'll select a color of our choice. See, it does not look good now, just wait and watch. Click on OK, then again OK, close it and then change its blend mode to overlay or color. I like overlay more, so I will then again go back to the gradient adjustment layer, double click on this gradient, double click on the color and then adjust the color from here. I will choose a reddish tone. See, this looks good. Don't worry about the edges, we'll be correcting that. This looks okay. Now the edges are very rough or very sharp, so for that we will click on the layer mask, head over to window and then properties. From the properties we will increase the feather. Increasing the feather, see, it makes it so soft and it makes it natural. Let's increase the feather a little bit. This looks very good. So we'll remove it from some areas. So for that we'll take a brush, we'll take a black color, paint with a very low flow, then we'll remove it from some natural areas. See, from these areas you can reduce the opacity a little bit. Click on the gradient map and then reduce its opacity. You can also play with the colors by going back to gradient map and then playing with the slider. It will change the colors of the lips. See, it adds a glaze to that, but for that we'll use another technique. It's okay. Now double click on the right side of the layer. It opens the layer style dialog box, and then remove it from the bright areas to get back the shine. See, we are getting back the bright areas. Hold on Alt, click on the line between them and then separate the lines. See, it makes a smooth transition. Increase the opacity a little bit. See, this looks so good. Let's look at the complete before and after. This is before and this is after. Next, we will move on to color correcting the image. For that, we will be going to curves and add a S curve here. Click on a area in the shadows and then bring it down. Click on the area in the highlights and bring it up. It adds a contrast to the image. See, a very nice contrast. You can add a little bit of opacity here. Next, we'll add some color lookup tables. We'll go to adjustments and then color lookup. Just click on one of them and just scroll into them just by your mouse wheel or the up and down arrow keys. Just look at the ones which look good. This looks good, but it is too bright. So we'll click on curves, clip it to the layer below by clicking on Alt and hovering over these lines and then clicking between them, or you can just click on this button. Decrease it from the highlights a little bit and then increase the dark areas a little bit. It adds a fade. So see, this gives a very nice moody effect to the image. Now we'll add some more global adjustments by creating a stamp visible layer here, again by holding on Ctrl, Alt, Shift and E, changing it to Smart Object and then going to Filter and Camera Raw Filter. Here just play with the sliders to get your sweet point. Let's make it a bit blue or warmer. Warmer looks good. Little bit greener. Let's decrease the exposure a little bit and increase the contrast. Just play with the highlights. Decrease the highlights. Decrease the shadows also a little bit. Next, come to the texture. Add a little bit of texture, little bit of clarity, which is contrast in the midtones. No need to change the DAs. Add a little bit vibrance, not saturation, vibrance. It adds a punch to the image. No need to change the curves here. Let's add a little bit of sharpness. Now click on Alt and increase the masking slider. This will show you the mask where the sharpness is applied. The white areas show the areas where sharpness is applied. I will increase it only where the edges are seen. Then we'll come to the color mixture. I will change the hues of the blue a little bit. Aquas a little bit. Reds no need to change or it will affect the skin tones. Let's get to saturation. Decrease the saturation of the reds a little bit, yellows a little bit, and the oranges a little bit. Just play with the sliders to get your sweet spot. Then head over to color grading. Add a tad bit of blue to the midtones, blue or cyan to the shadows, and some oranges to the highlight. Let's move over to effect and add a little bit grain to the image, else the image looks a lot digital. We remember that we added some smoothing to the image which removed the noise. So we will add some grain back to the image and this will blend in the image a bit more. Now we'll add some vignette to the image. Decrease the vignetting, increase the midpoint, increase the feather. You can see the vignetting at 100% while changing the sliders by clicking on Alt. Increase the feather and increase the highlights. Let's click on OK, and now let's look at the complete before and after. Our image is almost complete. This is the before and this is the after. So now we'll add some adjustments here and there. I will take a layer, I will take a brush with a bit golden color, or you can sample this color of her hair. Just sample this color, take a brush and then just slowly paint on her hair. You can change it to screen or color dodge and then reduce the fill and followed by the opacity. You can apply it only to the highlights by using some blend if. Take the left point slider to the right, split it and click on OK. This is before, this is after. A very subtle glow, but it looks good. We'll add it to this side too. So now let's look into the image. This is the before and this is the after. So our image is completed here. After this you can go back to different parts of the adjustments and change them. This method is completely non-destructive. You can change the values as per your choice. If you had any difficulty in understanding any of those parts, just head over to the comment section and ask some questions from me. I will be replying you as soon as possible. So our tutorial ends here. Thanks for joining in and good night.